Nightline.
Because, you know, baseball is a very expensive game. You know, when you take a baseball player and you put a baseball glove on a youngster or a uniform or put a bat in his hand, that costs an awful lot of money. And I think baseball itself deserves and ought to try and do something for these youngsters.
Now, Commissioner Vincent, it's cheaper, though, I would assume, than football in the sense of the uniform and everything that you need to play the game, and even the space that's needed to play the game is roughly equivalent. Why do you think it is that baseball seems to be fading away as a sport among our black youngsters, whereas football has certainly increased phenomenally?
Well, I think it is a legitimate concern, and I have to say, I think Hank is doing us all a service by continuing to call attention to the problem. We are aware that the competition for young athletes, for kids playing sports, is now much more intense. Basketball is an emerging and powerful force, not just among black kids, but among all young kids. And we are concerned about getting baseball back into the younger levels to energize our involvement with kids. We've started something called Rookie Ball, which is intended to get very young kids playing baseball, and it's been very successful. We've got probably 225,000 kids in these programs today, and they're brand new. What you're about to talk to John Young about in terms of his RBI program is important to us, and we were instrumental, I think John would agree, in getting it started. We agree that baseball needs to be more active, more energetic with young kids. We are losing them, and we're concerned. It's not just an issue of blacks, it's an issue of a number of young kids who are terrific athletes, who are interested, not staying with baseball. And Ted, you have to remember, too, that, and I think Hank is really the example of this, it's a very difficult game. One of the most sublime and difficult achievements in sports is to hit a baseball. You can practice basketball and you can practice football and be successful. There's an awful lot you can do, but you really cannot make yourself successful in baseball.
Although that doesn't address the issue of why more blacks seem to be moving away from it and more whites.
Well, I think it's more kids moving away, Ted. I think blacks are part of the story. Kids are moving away from baseball in part for the reasons you suggest. There are active programs in the inner cities and in some of our cities where kids are finding basketball very attractive, less space. We need to do a lot more, and we are addressing the problem. It's going to take time, it's going to take money, and I think we are on the case.
All right. When we come back, we're going to be joined by a scout for the Texas Rangers who has founded a program that is trying to revive baseball in the inner city. Why is yours the only program of its kind to bring black youngsters into the game of baseball?
Well, we've got a lot of interest from other cities that would like to do the same thing we're doing with RBI. I think we need to continue to solicit corporate sponsors. I think we need more of an ongoing commitment from Major League Baseball to make this thing work. The reason it works in Los Angeles is because you've got a unique situation with baseball scouts involved in it. You've got the community people involved in it. You've got friends that I played baseball with on the sandlots that are involved with the program. We have people involved with RBI that played baseball at the collegiate level, and you just don't see a lot of blacks playing baseball at the collegiate level. So these are the people that helped put RBI together.
One time, come on now.
But there is hope for the future. In South Central Los Angeles, about 450 youngsters aged 13 to 18 are picking up the finer points of baseball, as many as 6 afternoons a week in the RBI League. This project is partially funded by Major League Baseball, but it's really been brought to life by Texas Rangers scout John Young. These teenagers get academic tutoring and counseling, as well as baseball coaching. And they also get the visible support of their parents in the stands. These folks should remind us that the ultimate baseball scene in what many consider the ultimate baseball movie isn't about a big league game or any organized game. It's about pitch and catch between father and child, a form of intimate baseball communion fast disappearing from America's black communities.
It's really sort of disheartening, you know, for someone who grew up playing baseball and catch with his father. You don't see it. I mean, the basketball courts are overrun. Even the tennis courts, especially here, seem to be more populated. Again, the ball fields are just overrun with weeds and glass.
Baseball calls itself the national pastime, but statistics on black attendance and participation indicate the game may be passing the black part of this nation by. That's an outcome nobody wants, but nobody's figured out yet how to change it. I'm Dave Marish for Nightline in Los Angeles.
Thank you all very much for joining us, Mr. Aaron, Commissioner Vincent, Mr. Young. I'll be back with a program note right after this.